Hello dear learners and welcome to today's video lesson. I am Richie Simon, Assistant Professor from the Department of Social Work, BSSS. In today's video, we will learn about the components of social casework. And here on your screen, you can see a pictorial diagram representing the components of social casework. H. Perlman defined casework as a process in which a person weighed down by a problem seeks help for it from a place and is offered such help by a professional social worker who uses a process which simultaneously engages and enhances the person's own problem-solving resources. Now, this definition acts as an excellent resource to understand the four components of casework, otherwise known as the 4 P's of social casework, namely person, problem, place, and process. Let's now understand these components, starting with the first component, the first P, the person. The person is the one who seeks help from the social worker. That is, the person is the one who is in problem and to whom we as case workers provide our services. We call this person the client. So the client is the one to whom we provide our services. Every person is a product of nature and nurture, that is, heredity and environment, and is in a continuous process of change. He interacts with his environment and shows a purposeful behavior, that is to say, a behavior in response to his physical and emotional needs. We need to understand that the emotional needs are genuine and they cannot be met by intellectual reasoning. Also, the client's behavior or the behavior of any other being can be understood only in terms of one's own emotional and intellectual comprehension. So even though you would have heard people saying that I understand you, I understand your situations, normally it is not so. They can understand you within the framework and within the experiences that they have at their emotional and intellectual level, which is quite different from yours. So true understanding is not that easy. Now this person, the client, is for sure facing some problem. So here comes the need to understand the second P, the second component, that is the problem. Now, problems that we face as individuals, that we tackle as case workers, are multifaceted in nature. And they may emerge at different levels. That is, they can be individual, they can be group problems, or community problems. They can be internal, that is physical or psychological, or external, that is social in nature. The problem into which the client is might be something that he or she is facing for the first time, or they would be repetitive in nature and not new to the client. However, we need to note that the problems arise out of stressors and are generally an outcome of the cause-effect process. This might take a form of a chain reaction, where a change in one problem might result into another problem or a set of problems and so on. Yet, there are times when the client might not even be aware of the core problem, and this might lead to distress and further disturbances. Yet, While understanding problems, we also need to know that problems in social work are like onions. That is to say, they are layered. You cannot understand the problem all at once. You understand and explore one layer, and then another will appear, and so on. So, though the problems in general might be known to you, but specifically from the point of view of the client or in the life of the client, how this problem has appeared and is affecting their lives is definitely going to be different. Therefore, we do not have a generic solution to the problems in social work. Remember, every individual is unique, and this also makes their problems to be unique, about which the client knows better than us. So now there is a person, the client, who is in problem, and so he goes to a place. This place is known as the agency. The agency refers to the organization that renders help, and it expresses the will of the society. That means the agency will be offering those services that reflect the need of the society. Just like any other organization, an agency in social work will be having an administrative structure comprising of social workers and others, and also a functional aspect describing the operations of the agency. The agency needs to be flexible in nature, in its functioning. And just like the agency represents the will of the society should also be aware of the existence of such organizations. Otherwise, how this person will know where to go when he has a problem? So agencies must strive to mark their presence in the society that they serve. So what happens is the client reaches the place called the agency. Once he reaches, he is welcomed in the agency. Now, I'm not talking about any floral or red carpet welcome, but remember the principle of acceptance. The behavior that the client receives right from the entrance is making him feel accepted or alienated. Once accepted at the agency, a procedural path is adopted to find solution to the client's problems. The client is studied and assessed, and with the assessment, intervention is planned and implemented. After the planned time, the process is terminated and evaluation is done to know the success or failure of the process. This also provides us with opportunities for improving our practices in future. The process continues even after termination in the form of follow-up visits, where the progress and conditions of the client are monitored. And these follow-up visits do reduce with time. And that's how the process of casework comes to an end. We will learn about the process of social casework in detail in the later lessons. So that's all for today's video, where we got introduced to the 4 P's, the components of social casework: the person, the problem, the place, and the process. So until we meet next, keep learning, keep growing, take care. Thank you.